Too few law firms are routinely using industry newsletters as a thought leadership tool to build their practice group's authority. They are, to me, an incredibly effective thought leadership tool whose effectiveness and whose cachet compound over time. I want to give you 12 reasons, yes, 12 reasons why your law firm should be producing industry newsletters. First, they demonstrate that your firm is knowledgeable and thinking about a client's or a group of clients' industry and their businesses, not just legal issues that they face. Your law firm suddenly becomes an expert on the industry, or perceived as an expert in the industry, because your content in this newsletter is focused solely on the industry and a wide range of happenings within the industry, not just thought leadership content, but news that's covered by media outlets and other creators, other sources that aren't your law firm. Second, on a related note, it positions the attorneys at the firm as authorities because they are curating content. They are looking at a large universe of content regarding a particular industry, and they are curating that, whittling it down to just the handful of pieces of content, pieces of information that they think their clients in the industry and others in the industry would find most relevant. They are the ones saying, look, of all of this content out there, here are the handful that we think are the most important to you, our audience who cares about this industry. Third, it creates a marketable, compounding asset. It becomes a marketing asset because it can be used in a call to action at the end of every presentation or other pieces of thought leadership, such as blog posts or articles. There can always be a call to action. If you want to stay abreast of all developments in XYZ industry, please subscribe to our newsletter here. In addition, it's compounding over time. The newsletter becomes more and more noteworthy, becomes more and more established as a go-to voice, a go-to source of information regarding an industry, because hopefully it's being produced consistently every other week, every month, and over time, over the weeks, over the months, over the years, that newsletter becomes more authoritative because it's been around for so long. Fourth, it's an ongoing relationship builder that reliably keeps you and your firm top of mind. You have a piece of content. It might not be exclusively content created by your colleagues, but you have this product, this asset, this piece of content that is reliably going out to your clients and other people in the industry. Of course, it helps elevate you to top of mind whenever the recipients get that newsletter. It's a frequent reminder that, hey, don't forget, these folks are the leaders when it comes to legal issues and business issues in this industry. Fifth, it requires shorter form content. Obviously, I love thought leadership. I love 1,000 to 1,500 word articles that are demonstrating expertise and credibility and knowledge and wisdom on the part of attorneys. But not all attorneys have the time to do that, nor do they have the ideas for that kind of thought leadership. But when you're writing a newsletter, you are typically writing shorter content because you are explaining the relevance of the news items you were plucking from the Wall Street Journal or from trade publications. You might only need a couple hundred words total throughout the newsletter to convey knowledge and wisdom and insights, because you are basically summarizing what a particular news item was and why it's relevant to your audience. Sixth, there's no media gatekeepers. I do think that most business publications, most industry publications tend to be fairly welcoming to thought leadership content that a law firm or other organization submits to be published in that media outlet. But there's still gatekeepers. There's still editors who have space restrictions. They might not want to accept an article that your law firm submitted because another law firm 3 days ago submitted a similarly themed article or an article with a similar topic. There's no gatekeepers. And certainly compared to earned media, we are trying to get reporters to report on your law firm or cover your matters. That's not an issue here because you are able to send the content directly to your audience, directly to your recipients, which leads me to number 7. There's no algorithmic gatekeepers either. People receive the email. It's not like LinkedIn where you might need 10, 12, 15 posts to cover all of your followers, because typically LinkedIn does not show a single post to a large percentage of your followers. That's not the issue here. As long as the emails are delivered, they can go to 50 people, 500 people, 5,000 people, or 50,000 people, all in one fell swoop. Eighth, industry newsletters help lure industry participants from out of the shadows by opting in to receive the newsletter. Yes, you probably have a general sense of the people and organizations who are interested in the goings-on in a particular industry, but you won't always know that. And if there are new consultants, new organizations, new professional service firms that serve a particular industry, if they opt into an email newsletter, they are sending a signal that they have some interest in the industry, which means you might be able to go to them as a partner for referrals, as a potential client, as a potential co-marketing partner. Ninth, of course, industry newsletters can be a distribution channel for your own firm's content. Yes, you are going to be pulling and curating content from lots of different sources, but that should include your own firm's thought leadership and maybe podcasts or other content. It shouldn't be overly salesy. It shouldn't be half the content that's in your newsletter, but you can pull and you should pull from your firm's content as part of the content in an industry newsletter, assuming that it's relevant and pertinent to audience members. 10th, these industry newsletters make it easy for recipients to get in touch, to give feedback, to ask questions. You are giving them a feedback mechanism every so often by allowing them to press reply from the comfort of their office or while they're on their phone to have a conversation with your law firm, with particular attorneys at the law firm. You're making it easy for them to get in touch, and that's what you want to do. You want to eliminate friction so people with an interest in the industry and with an interest in talking to you can do so easily without having to jump through many hoops. On a related point, number 11, it provides opportunities for co-marketing, for partnerships that are beyond client matters. If you've got referral sources who are seeing what you are producing, they might have an idea for teaming up. Maybe they want to work on some presentation or some CLE that could then be featured in the newsletter. Perhaps the newsletter shows them that you have an interest in a particular area within the industry that they specialize in, which gives them an opportunity to work together with you. Referral sources might see that there is an opportunity for you to partner with cross-marketing efforts or co-authorship of articles or perhaps hosting or guesting on a podcast. Getting a newsletter in front of people in the industry consistently will open up doors for marketing, for referral relationships, or partnerships that you probably couldn't have dreamed of. And finally, 12th, with industry newsletters, there's a low barrier to entry. You don't need to buy special equipment. You don't need to hire people with special training. We're talking about using newsletter platforms like Beehive or Substack or MailChimp. These platforms are normally under $200 per month based on the size of most law firms' email lists for particular industry newsletters. There's not going to be a huge expense in terms of money. There won't be much expense in terms of time. You'll just need time to curate content, which can be delegated to an administrative person or a marketer or a BD staff member. You just need the attorneys to be able to select from the pool of content which ones will actually go into a particular newsletter, and then, where necessary, create short blurbs that explain the so what and now what of particular items that are included in the newsletter. I'm always surprised by how many law firms overlook industry newsletters as thought leadership tools. The irony is that so many attorneys and staff members at law firms subscribe to newsletters and they see the value it provides. They see firsthand how consistent, informative, thoughtful newsletters position the sender as someone who is credible, as someone who's authoritative regarding the work they do, the topics they cover, the subjects that they are writing about. Industry newsletters could be and should be your law firm's next big thought leadership initiative. If you're interested in learning more thought leadership best practices, check out lawfirmeditorialservice.com. We have more than 450 videos, blog posts, and podcast episodes full of best practices.